p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Patrick Paes.
I'm Ed Lingao, and some stories we're watching this Tuesday, September 17. This Miss Bamban Mayor Alice Go has admitted that she pre-signed the last page of her counter affidavit before she fled the country. The document was her response to the DOJ's human trafficking complaint filed against her. Meantime, PAGCOR Security Monitoring Cluster Head Raul Villanueva says a former police chief may have helped Go in her escape, but he says that this has yet to be verified. Suwal Pangasinan Mayor Liseldo Calugay was also present in today's hearing, where he denied any romantic involvement with Go. The Philippine Navy says they have monitored fewer Chinese ships in the West Philippine Sea. According to the Navy, 157 Chinese vessels were spotted in the WPS from September 10 to 16. That's down from 207 ships recorded the week before. Of these vessels, 65 are still swarming Escoda Shoal. Earlier, BRP Teresa Magbanmo was withdrawn from the area due to the medical condition of its crew and inclement weather.
And tropical depression Hener has slightly intensified and is now over the West Philippine Sea. Hener will exit the Philippine area of responsibility tonight or tomorrow, September 18. Meantime, signal number 1 remains over some parts of Luzon. Okay, joining us today, Ana Marie Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star and Storycon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas. Tito Ronald.
Happy sunny Tuesday, Ami. Napaka-liwanag, oh. Napaka-sunny, oh.
Oo nga eh. Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival ngayon.
Ano? Ano yun? Chinese Festival?
Harvest Festival.
Aba? Sa Mitikoy ka,
sa Asian. Kaya ako naka-gold and green.
Si Ami
Harvest
talaga,
colors. All colors.
Speaking of the weather, no, before lunch, most schools already canceled classes, suspended classes.
Yes. Oo nga. Because of
maaraw.
Dahil parating ngayon sa Isabela, tsaka sa Cagayan, yung bagyo. Pero tingnan mo, araw-araw.
Dito sa Metro Manila, pero siguro sa ibang lugar medyo masama. Saka may wind signal ngayon so mas delikado din yon sa mga flights. Diba?
Yes.
Yung nakita ko lang mahangin, yung Senate hearing kanina.
Naku, yan ka na naman.
Right.
Medyo weird yung mga testimony ng mga kwanton ng mga PNP at mga security officials, no? Dahil sinabi nila, merong former head ng PNP ang tumulong kay Alice Go na posibleng tumanggap ng 200 million na bayad at may monthly payola.
Ang laki nun, ha?
Pero hindi nila kilala. Sabi ko, ba't sila nag-volunteer ng ganun detalye?
Medyo nakakaawa yung mga former. Although marami yan. Kasi revolving door din ata yung PNP na yan. So medyo marami. Nakakaawa lang din.
Pero weird
huwag na natin banggitin sino-sino yung mga former, naging former.
Medyo weird lang na ibo-volunteer mo yung information. Tapos pag tinanong ka ng mga senador, sino yan? Hindi mo alam.
Tingin mo, hindi talaga nila alam.
Well, dapat nagtawag sila executive session. Doon nila sabihin, no? Kung para pa kayo iba, takot malibel.
Pero ibang hindi alam dun sa hindi ko pa pwedeng sabihin.
Kaya nga. Minsan interchangeable yun
nagagamit.
But how can you say in the Senate na may gantong tao pero hindi ko alam kung sino?
Payola, dating PNP chief,
Well,
200
to
million.
Ronald's point, yun nga. Siguro, it should have been revealed. Pero hindi sila nagpatawag ng executive session for that. Kasi nga sabi, hindi alam.
Ang consistent, si Lito Magno ng NBI, si Attorney Magno, iniimbestigahan namin, wala pa kaming alam, ganyan. So, consistent pag tinatanong siya. So, hindi ka mapapahamak. Yung iba, nag-volunteer ng information, tapos wala palang alam.
Would this be the same person, according to former PNP chief and Senator Panfilo Lacson, na nag-offer ng 1 billion?
Posible.
Posible. Diba? Nag-offer daw si Alice.
1 billion.
Allegedly na 1 billion para
raw intel pa naman daw lahat yan, sabi nila.
Kayo ba, may info ba kayo
Nag-deny
dyan?
na si Senator Bato de la Rosa, nag-deny na Hindi siya yung chief PNP na yung quote-unquote.
Ay, yun lang.
Isa na yan. One out, so meron pang ilan pa yan.
Kaya hindi
Hindi naman
alam.
siguro yung si General Eliasar. Ilan-ilan lang naman yan eh.
Ang hirap talaga. Ang hirap din namang bumwesto ng nagte-testify. Kasi
ganun na. Parang ko eh.
nandun nga pala sa kwarto. Pero I learned a new word today, Ami, from Senator, I think, Jingo Estrada. Babaita. Babaita.
Hindi ko na.
Sino yun? Yung mayor ng Suwal?
Hindi, tinawag to si alis ko itong babaitang to.
Ano yung sabihin ng babaita?
Akala ko babaero eh.
Ano yung sabihin ng babaita?
Babaing ito.
Oo nga, ano daw
siguro,
yun?
hindi natin alam.
Ano yung
Nakakatawang
babaita?
salita, babaita.
So, bagong shimilet yun.
O, Ami kayo, ano headline nyo?
Kaya, siyempre, inaabangan natin yung Alice Go. Saka, tinitignan namin yung kung ano exactly yung story sa DOJ. Kasi sabi nila, the extradition of Arnie Teves will be subjected to new proceedings. Remember last week, sinabi ng abogado ni Teves, si Ferdinand Topacio, ni-reject daw yung extradition request natin, di ba? So, nililinaw natin kung ni-reject nga or meron lang nangyari na kailangang siguro mag-file ng bagong petition or something. Iniintay pa natin yung clarification dyan.
Okay.
Anyway, magkakaroon daw ng new proceedings.
Okay, Ami, pero
Saka
dito
yun,
sa...
ng US, inulit ng US na na they will come to the defense of their allies kapag nga nagkaroon ng further harassment dyan. Depende siguro dun sa nature. Kasi hindi sila nagsasabi ko exactly kung ano yung nature. Ayaw daw nilang ma-confine yung kanilang engagement kung sakasakali.
Okay.
Dapat ang
Sa mga
DFA,
situation conjectural.
dapat ang DFA mag-hardball sa East Timor.
Aha.
Sige, sa inyo na si Teves. No, i-cancel na muna natin ang ating mga extradition treaty. No? Sa inyo na muna yan. No? Ganon. So, next week, nandito na yan. Kailangan may counting hardball eh. Mag-hardball ka, hindi rin pwede masyado
Pero
tayo
remember,
mabait.
nagpunta na rito si Ramos Horta eh.
Yeah.
Remember, nagpunta siya dito about a few months ago, di ba? Wala siya actually commitment about that issue. Kasi meron ding mga, ewan ko naman kung marites lang yun, pero kaibigan daw niya si Arnie Teves.
Yes, may ganong klase.
May ganun ba?
Na
May ganung
na-host
mga
sila,
ano.
na wine and dine sila, kaya yung may
Yes.
ilang mga leaders ng East Timor na parang nag-hesitate. Kaya nga dapat ito i-hardball. Di sa inyo na. Sa inyo na. Pero tigil na muna tayo. Tigil na muna tayo.
Kasi normally, diba,
mas kailangan tayo ng East Timor kaysa mas kailangan natin sila. Gamitin natin yon sa negotiations.
Gusto nilang mag-member ng ASEAN eh. Pero yun na nga, di ba? Usually, magre-reject ng extradition, di ba? Halimbawa, kung walang death penalty dun sa hiningi-hingian, dito sa atin meron, wala naman tayong death penalty.
Yes. So kung
Diba?
mag-foot dragging sila, hardball.
So you think it has something to do,
Friendships.
East Timor's reluctance to extradite
Friendships.
Teves has something to do with friendships?
Yes.
Pero curiously,
Kaya nga doon pumunta si Teves.
Teves, to begin with.
Ba't siya pumunta
Yes.
sa East Timor?
Tapos
Ano
mag-golf
meron
lang,
doon?
no?
Di ba?
Oh, it's not exactly a fun place. No, it's not. It's not.
Yes.
It's not exactly a fun place.
Well, it's fun for him. I mean, we've seen images of him
Nag-golf
playing golf.
Nag-golf eh.
I know.
But, there's not much grass there.
You've been there nga pala. You've been there.
I've been there twice. The soil is pretty rocky.
Right. Said nga pala, right after independence, you went to East Timor.
Yeah.
Or during the
Nung
nagkakagulo.
Nung nag-interview ng Australia, Interfet, I flew in with Interfet.
Ako, isa ako sa leaders ng UPSET.
Upset. I remember Upset.
Isa ako sa
Parang
leaders
ni
niyan.
Pierre, di ba?
Kami yung nag-campaign for
Ano
East
yung
Timor. Asia Pacific.
Conference ni Timor.
Yeah, for East Timor. Saka Indonesia. May nilagyan ng I sa dulo. No? So kami yung nag-campaign yan dati.
Because before that, it was a colony or occupied by Indonesia.
By Indonesia.
Right.
So,
It was
nag-campaign na.
Portuguese and
Colony.
then bumitaw ang Portugal, nag-annex yung Indonesia kasi Indonesia was in control of West Timor naman.
Kaya kilala ko si Jose Ramos Horta at saka si Gusmao.
Si Sanana.
Oo, siya nana.
Si Sanana Banana.
At gusto nila ngayon, Timor-Leste na ha.
Oo.
Di- Pinagusto nila.
Yes. So,
Imbis na East Timor.
tapos
pero
sila,
dito sa
yung grupo na yan, they're supposed to be leftists. Mga mga
Yes.
socialists.
Kaya kilala mo.
Kaya kilala ko.
Ayun.
Kaya,
Pero nung araw yun.
Kasi Ami Tebes.
Nung araw yun.
padala nila ako para mag-negotiate. Hardball. Oh.
Actually, I think that was
Kaya
one of the
ano
reasons
nangyari?
kung bakit pinabayaan ng US
Leftist
yung
ba si Arnie
Indonesia to take
Tebes?
over kasi it was parang the communist bogeyman, the Marxist bogeyman
Yes.
mga leftist yung mga
Pero
yan.
sinuportahan ng Australia kasi yan. Na
Wait, teka, Bok, pasok natin ng ating guest, baka maputi
Yes.
yan. Our guest for Tuesday, Vice Admiral Alexander Lopez, spokesman po ng National Maritime Council. Sir, magandang hapon and thank you for coming back.
Ay, magandang hapon din sa inyo at sa ating mga tagapakinig.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Admiral.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Tanong na kagad, Bok.
Yes, sir.
Yung
Sir.
nangyari sa Sabina Show.
Pero pa-update muna, baka yung barko natin, sir, nandun na ba? Nakarating na ba? At nakapag-poste na ba? O nakapag-pwesto na ba sa Sabina? Yung nag-replace dapat sa Magbanwa?
Actually, yung pag-alis pa lang ng Teresa Magbanwa, nagbigay na kagad ng directive yung ating commandant. Kaya lang yung pag-alis niya, malalaki sobrang alon. So, palagi niyang tinatry. Oo. So, wala pa tayong latest ngayon kung naka-pwesto na siya doon, pero meron tayong barko na pinalaot.
Yes,
Okay, Admiral, backtrack a bit. Why is it important for us to maintain our presence, for the Philippine Navy or the Coast Guard to maintain its presence dyan sa may Sabina Shoal? I know that the boat Magbanwa has been there on an extended, ilang buwan ata
4 or
yan.
5 months.
5 months, so extended. It's very unusual na napako doon for 5 months. So bakit po importante na nandun po tayo, nakabantay?
Actually, yung ginawa ng Magbanwa, routine maritime patrol yun, kanilang ginagawa to conduct patrol in the area. Kaya lang yung pagpunta nila doon, meron silang na-receive na information na merong illegal activities na ginagawa doon sa may area. So pinuntahan nila, pinostehan nila, at nagpadala pa tayo ng delegation from the UP MSI to verify kung ano talaga yung ginagawa. So in fact, meron tayong reason to believe na merong ginagawa ng yung China doon, like the dumping of dead corals.
Okay.
Tapos meron ding activity yung Chinese Navy doon para meron silang exercise. So, napilitan yung Magbanwa na pumesto, medyo matagal-tagal, nag-drop sila ng anchor. Kasi kung paikot-ikot sila doon, mas madalis mauupos yung kanilang fuel o petroleum. So, ganun ang reason bakit sila nag-angkla.
Okay, I'll ask lang straight, Vice Admiral, etong dumping of dead corals, is this related to island building activities? Is that yun po ba ang suspicion?
Ang assessment ng ating mga tropa ng PTMI, it could be a prelude to a further reclamation activity.
Okay.
That's why yun ang binabantayan nila para kung ano man yung further intention ay mag-preempt o mag-deter.
Vice Admiral,
Admiral,
sir, I
Admiral,
understand
malaki
po from your...
yung pinadala nating barko dyan, Yung Magbanwa, malaki yan eh. Ano yung pinalit sa kanya? Kasi ang dami-daming mga Chinese ships doon. Kung medyo maliit yung barko, kawawa naman yung barko natin. Ano po yung pinalit kay Teresa Magbanwa?
Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin kung ano yung pinadala for operational purposes or reasons. Pero basta ang directive to the Philippine Coast Guard ay palitan at para magpadala ng asset ulit para to continue yung kanilang monitoring, documentation purposes doon sa shoal.
Admiral, ano yung talagang dahilan bakit umalis yung Teresa Magbanwa sa Escoda? Dahil several weeks ago, lumalabas na yung balita na gutom na yung mga tao natin dyan. Lugaw na lang yung kinakain. At ngayon, ang sinasabing dahilan ay medical reasons. Di ba konektado yung dalawa? Kaya sila nagkaroon ng medical problems dahil medyo ubos na yung kanilang pagkain. Gutom na.
Actually, tama yun. Tama yun, ano? Even before that kasi, di ba, mayroong successful naman yung resupply nila through heli-drop. Kaya lang hindi siya sapat para tumagal. At meron kasing nag-attempt na tayo umalison pero yung when we were testing the waters, binangga-bangga naman tayo kaya doon naputa. So napilitang dibagsak uli yung angkla para hindi siya tuluyang sirain ng ano. So with that, naano talaga yung medyo na-extended pa yung kanilang pagpalagi doon sa show.
Sir,
pero follow up lang, Admiral. Sorry, Ed. Who made the decision para umatras o umalis yung Teresa Magbanwa sa Escoda, Admiral?
Well, yung pag-feedback ng kanilang commanding officer, of course, tinatanong natin ng Commandant ng Philippine Coast Guard kung ano yung kalagayan ng barko, kung anong kalagayan ng kanilang mga tauhan. So, nung nalaman ng Commandant ng Philippine Coast Guard, yung talagang kalagayan ng sitwasyon nun, nirecommend niya kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. na payagan silang pumalaot. Otherwise, baka lumala pa yung condition ng mga tao doon. And instead na baka meron tang mas malalang hindi naman tanggap-tanggap yon. So being the Commander-in-Chief ng Philippine Coast Guard din, ay nag-decide na rin Pangulo na sige, mas mahalaga ang kalagayan ng mga tauhan natin doon. So sir, basically that's the main primordial reason bakit pinulaut. Aside from of course yung kanilang depleted provisions on board.
Yes, sir. Sir, we do understand naman your statements yesterday, kayo tsaka si Tariela, saying na we are not abandoning Escoda Shoal at all. We are not. In fact, we are replacing Magbanwa with another ship. Pero let me ask you a question that's being asked by a lot of people. Kasi alam naman natin na in the last few weeks, pahirapan kahit ang resupply dyan. Hinaharangan ng Chinese ang resupply. Magbanwa, gumalaw lang saglit, binangga na kagad. And now we have pulled out Magbanwa na wala pang kapalit dumating. Oo. Kumbaga walang, I don't know if this is the right term, replacement in place. Kumbaga bago umalis, nandiyan na yung papalit sa kanya. So, ang concern ng iba, yes, kailangan nga bumalik na yung tropa from Magbanwa, pero hindi ba dapat pinadala muna dyan ang kapalit bago ipapulot? Kasi baka hindi makapwesto yung kapalit.
Masingitan.
Oo. Lalo na kahit nga resupply, pinahihirapan tayo. Yun po. I think it's a very common question po.
Bigyan ko sana kayo ng konteksto.
Yes, sir.
About the geographical features ng Escoda Shoal or Sabina Shoal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hindi ito katulad nung Scarborough Shoal na iisa lang ang
entrance
papasukan. So, ang ginawa ng China ay hinarang. So, talagang hindi na tayo makakapasok. Samantalang itong Sabina o Escoda Shoal, pag sumasamahin mo yung Manila, Caloocan, Navotas at Malabon, ganun siya kalaki.
Okay.
At marami siyang lagusan at marami rin siyang papasukan. So yung condition ng Escoda ay hindi pareho ng Escoda ng Scarborough Shoal. Kasi ang kinakabahala ng ating mga kababayan, baka another Scarborough Shoal part 2 yun. Pero actually hindi. So dahil sa laki nung shoal, hindi kakayanan talaga ng isa o dalawa o tatlong barko yun Pero ganun din, hindi nila pwedeng harangan nyo dahil marami tayong pwedeng pasukan. Hindi naman necessarily at the same spot where Teresa Magbanwa dropped her anchor is the same spot na babalik yung kapalit.
Okay. Admiral, does this mean, do we know that if at this moment there are Chinese ships in that area, in that shoal?
Actually, because of the adverse weather condition, nabawasan din yung assets ng kasi pag ganito panahon, nagtatago rin yung mga yan
Okay.
Nagtatago din. So, ang idadagdag ko pa, yung commitment ng ating pamahalaan, gobyerno, o naging Pangulo, is to maintain a strategic presence in the area. Pag sinabi natin strategic presence, it does not necessarily mean na maglalagay tayo ng barko doon, not permanent, na static. We can do covering, we can do monitoring, we can do the coverage, we can do the documentation, we can detect any illegal activities, not only by putting a ship in the area, static, naka-ankla. So we can do that in another different ways. At saka yung nangyari doon sa Teresa Magbanwa, marami tayong lessons learned doon. So nag-a-adjust tayo ngayon how to go about it para ma-minimize yung nangyari doon sa Magbanwa at yung mga collateral damage ay ma-minimize din. So we are doing some adjustments so para yung kanang pamamaraan o approaches or even our concept of operation.
Sir, can you speak to us? Yes. Go Ami.
Hello.
So, sir, can you speak to us then about these lessons that we have learned from Magbanwa? Kasi seeing the stories coming out from yesterday, nakakaawa talaga yung tropa. I mean, our hats off to the troops dun sa Magbanwa kasi they made do with a very difficult situation. Yung tubig nila kinukuha sa ulan. Wala ba si Admiral?
Hello.
Ayan, sir.
Hello, I'm here.
For example, sir, yung tubig nila kinukuha nila sa tubig ulan tsaka doon sa aircon, yung condensation ng aircon. Tapos dugaw na nga lang ang kinakain nila for the past few days. I'm wondering, sir, how we're going to prevent these problems from arising with the next or with the replacement vessel. I think it's going to be a smaller one kasi yung Magbanwa is the biggest Coast Guard vessel.
Yes.
I think it's Magbanwa class. 96 meter.
Yung ipapadala natin, 40 meters.
Kaya yung sinasabi ko, yung nangyari doon sa Magbanwa, nag-angkla sila na ganyan, actually naging magnet siya. So, naging magnet siya in a sense na pinalibutan siya, dumami yung mga assets. Kasi ang akala kasi ng kabila, ay magsasadsad tayo katulad ng ginawa natin doon sa Ayungin. So, hindi naman tama yun. Hindi mali yun. Unang-una, napakabago ng barko natin.
Bagong-bago. 2022 lang yung barko.
Pinakabago, so, yun ang yung inakala nila, yun ang kinatakutan nila. So, kaya nga, sabi ko kanina, naging magnet siya na halos 100 yung nilagay palibot doon. So yung nakita natin yung siguro mga disadvantage yung ganung pamamaraan. So we came up with operational adjustments, but just the same, the mission of monitoring the area, covering the area, detecting illegal activities, and if ever needed, deterring these activities ay pareho pa rin. Kaya lang, different approach na tayo.
Admiral,
yung different approach na ba yan? Is the government more open now at this point to getting help from the U.S.? Kasi nakipag-meeting na naman yung mga top-level U.S. officials with Chinese military officials. Inulit ng U.S. na there is no legal basis for China. Sinabi nila yan sa military counterparts nila, no legal basis dito sa mga maritime claims ng China, and they reiterated that they are willing to come to the defense of their allies in the light of etong mga aggressive harassment by the Chinese of Philippine vessels. We understand na nag-express na ng openness din ang Washington na magkaroon ng joint patrol or whatever assistance they can provide sa pagpapatrolya natin or yan na nga to maintain a strategic presence. Tayo ba are we willing to accept kung sakasakali? Kung hindi man US, kahit ibang bansa. Admiral? Nawala. Nawala yata si Admiral.
Nag-drop daw yung linya. Nag-drop ang linya.
Nag-drop.
Yeah. Let's see if we can still get him kasi may oras ata sa na pull out siya.
Hanggang meron pa tayong 7 minutes. Dahil 4:30 raw may meeting siya. Kaya, tatanungin ko sana si Admiral dun sa status ng meeting last week, bilateral meeting between the Philippines and China. na apparently to expand yung Ayungin Agreement, no? Possibly kasama ang Scarborough at saka Escoda and Sabina. So siguro kailangan natin ng update ano ba talagang nangyari doon.
And what is, refresh our memory, what is the Ayungin Agreement?
Secret eh. Wala pang official.
Pero
Wala
yung
pang
sinasabi nila, yun yung
diba?
pinagtatalunan na kung magpapaalam ba tayo or mag-resupply or na hindi naman daw.
Official.
I think si Admiral's on the line.
Okay.
Who's asking the question? Si Ami?
Admiral,
Yeah.
Okay, Admiral.
yung tanong ni Ami
Ulitin ko
kanina.
lang, sir.
Tayo, naputol.
Yeah.
Oo. Admiral, narinig ko yung question ko.
Sagutin ko yung ano.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Sige po, pakisagot po, Admiral.
Yung sinabi mo, yung about the US offer. Actually, we appreciate that. We do appreciate that yung offer ng US to help us. Pero ang position kasi ng ating gobyerno, hanggat sa makakaya na gagawin natin. Kasi mahirap naman konting hindi pa naman tayo na napupush to the wall, humihingi agad tayo ng tulong. Kasi siyempre meron naman tayong dignidad, meron tayong pride, na hindi naman ganun talaga. Well, if push comes to shove, and worst comes to worst, and then it will be an executive decision whether to stop the offer or your kagatin natin yung offer. But then again, it will be deliberately studied kasi may mga implications may mga complexities. So those are the reasons na baka pag in-involve natin ito ay iba yung mangyari. So we are deliberately working on that at winawargim natin kung paano.
Tama yun.
Lang, Admiral, kasi for the first time in about 20 years, merong mga warship dito ang Germany. Are we working out any security arrangement with the Germans? Medyo malayo na to sa kanilang area of operation.
Well, yung mga ganong it only shows the sympathy ng ating mga traditional allies and newfound allies. And sinasabi rin ng German Navy na dapat igalang yung freedom of navigation. At from yung kanilang galing sila sa Taiwan, proceeding to the Philippines, it only shows, sinasabi nila na ang karagatan ay dapat free from any intimidation. So yun ang sinasabi nila actually.
Admiral, nung nawala kayo kanina, may tanong lang ako. Ano lang status ng ating bilateral meeting with China last week na apparently para i-expand yung agreement sa Ayungin, no? Na i-expand beyond yung Ayungin. Anong status ngayon natin doon?
Yung meeting natin sa Beijing, of course, the Skoda Sabina Shoal is one of the major issues that was discussed. And other areas naman, like areas of cooperation, sinabi nila na open lines, we will open our lines, we will talk, and whatever pag-uusapan. Yung about doon sa arrangement doon sa Ayungin, well, those are still part of the arrangement kung ito ba ay may extend for other areas of the West Philippine Sea. So, wala pa tayong concrete feedback from the Department of Foreign Affairs. But what is very important doon sa discussion nila, yung pull-out ng Teresa Magbanwa has nothing to do. Kumbaga, ibig sabihin, hindi ito condition, hindi tayo nag-buckle down, where in fact, nanindigan ng ating delegation na our strategic presence will be maintained in Escoda dahil ito ay well within 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone of our country. So yun ang punot that's where we position our discussion.
Sir, just to qualify, sir, when you say strategic presence, it is not the same as a permanent presence. In other words, we are not going, the second ship or the replacement ship is not going to drop anchor and stay there for an extended period of time. Tama ho ba?
Again, yung pag-anchor is just one of the modalities.
Opo.
But kasi pag strategic presence, yung ating maritime domain awareness, kumbaga yung getting a good picture, a better picture of the area will be maintained. So hindi lang pamamaraan paglalagay ng barko na static doon. We can use other modalities, technical. We can also magpapalipad tayo ng aeroplano. Ang importante kasi doon, na monitor natin, we cover the area, and we detect and we can document whatever illegal activities are happening in the area.
What about the previous concern, the reason why Magbanwa stayed there for so long, which was yung apparent dumping ng dead corals ng China? I suppose after 4 months, hindi na nila ginagawa yun? Tama ho ba? Or have they stopped these activities?
Yeah, as I was saying a while ago earlier, napatagal kasi yung Magbanwa doon, kaya siya nag-angkla dahil part of her mission was to conduct maritime or sovereign patrol.
Yes, sir.
Kaya lang meron siyang na-receive na information na certain reclamation activity is going on.
Yes, sir.
Kaya nga pinuntahan niya yung lugar, pinostayhan niya para to determine kung meron ba. At ito rin ay naging platform para gamitin ng ating from the UPMSI, Maritime Scientific Institute, to conduct further study on the degradation that was happening at the shoal. And true enough, meron tayong study na nangyari ng ganun. At para lang tumagal-tagal yung stay ng Magbanwa doon, ay hindi dapat siya gala ng gala kasi mas madaling maubos ang kanyang fuel. So that's the reason why tumagal siya doon ng gano'n at nag-angkla.
So definitely, Admiral, walang katotohanan yung sinasabi ng mga talking heads ng China dito sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino, lalo na yung paborito kong columnist sa Manila Times, na ang sinasabi nila, we have already lost Escoda. So we haven't lost Escoda.
No, we did not lose anything. No, it should be very clear. Yeah. Not even Scarborough Shoal. We did not lose Scarborough Shoal. Kahit na na-control nila. What we lost in Scarborough Shoal is a temporary control. And in Escoda, the control and losing the Escoda is also not true. Wala tayong tawag dito. Walang mawawalang territory natin, sabi nga ni Presidente, not even a square inch of our territory will be abandoned. Even by the force of a very powerful nation.
Okay, you use a qualifier control, lost control. You think we have lost control of Escoda, Admiral? For
Definitely
now?
Definitely not. Sabi ko nga kanina, dahil because of the geographical features ng Escoda, it's very hard to lose control. Dahil marami tayong papusukan, marami rin tayong pwedeng lagusan. Napakalaki noon. Sabi ko nga kanina, Manila, Navotas, Caloocan, ganun siya kalaki. So,
sir, last question na, sir. I understand that you did try to qualify that we did not lose control of Scarborough. We only lost temporary control of Scarborough. I do appreciate, sir, the nuancing and you're qualifying it. Pero, sir, with that in mind, how do we regain any kind of control over Scarborough? Kasi 2012 pa ho yun. It's already been 12 years. I don't know if that's still temporary. How do we move forward and not say anymore that we have not lost control of Scarborough?
Kasi yung geographical feature kasi ng Scarborough, kumbaga sa gate.
Yes, sir.
Binarahan talaga nila.
Yes, sir.
No? Binarahan nila. So yung isipin pag-control, yung paano pumasok sa loob. Kasi
Lagoon, sir.
ang labanan sa Scarborough Shoal, basically, the fishing area is inside the shoal, not outside of the shoal. So, yung in terms of control inside the shoal, ay talagang na-control nila, no? Kasi talagang binarahan eh. And the only way to open that control is talagang bagay mo sila, makipaglaban tayo. Pero yun naman hindi natin gagawin. So, hopefully, through legal means, that temporary control, maybe through the ambit of international court, international law somehow, hopefully, and we pray that yung bumigay yung China and let our fishermen go inside again. So yung tinatabi nating control ay mawawala na. Sabihin, insofar as Skoda naman, there is no sense, wala pa rin sense na we lost control. More so that we lost the area. Wala pang ganon actually.
Okay, thank you for joining the Storicon today. National Maritime Council spokesman, Vice Admiral Alexander Lopez.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat.
Okay,
Thank you very much guys for
Salamat,
having me.
Admiral.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Let's get the highlights of today's Senate hearing on POGO operations from the Philippine Star correspondent Cecil Suerte Felipe. Cecil, anong balita dyan?
Yes, good afternoon po. Good afternoon, Ma'am Ami,
Cecil.
Sir Patrick, Sir Apo. Yes, Apo,
Walang
good
walang
afternoon. Kakatapos lang po nung hearing. Yun. So far, madaming info ang, nag-echo lang po ng konti. Maraming info yung na ano kanina at lumalawak pa. Yung isa sa mga catch doon was si PAGCOR Senior Vice President for Security. Nag-mention na meron palang former PNP chief na meron payroll sa POGO. Although wala siyang binitalye, all of them ay ano pa daw, for verification. So sabi na ng mga ibang pulis, if it is for verification, sana hindi muna niya nilabas. At the same time, si Senator Jinggoy, si Senate President Pro Tem Jinggoy Estrada, also about to question the identity of Cassandra Leong kasi apparently parehong Chinese yung kanyang parents. Kiniklaim niya na pinanganak sa hilot sa San Juan where si Senator Jinggoy po di ba galing doon, walang nakakakilala doon. So parang ayun, para mirambanan. And meron isa pang in-expose sila kanina, si Alice Guo was supposed to buy yung house, 95 million sa Baguio, so Alpha Land yata, na hindi natuloy. And then, konting kinikilig ng konting si Senator Jinggoy pag tinatanong yung relationship ni Mayor Sual, Liceldo, and then saka si Alice Guo. So far, yun po, walang masyadong anong detalye ngayon, pero patuloy na lumalaki yung storya on POGO and the investigation ng Senate Committee on Women, Children, and Family Affairs.
Okay, maraming salamat, Cecil Felipe.
Salamat, Cecil.
Cecil,
Yes,
napaamin ba na may anak nga daw? May anak daw si Alice Go, saka si Mayor? Although dininaya. Pero, yan ang sabi. Ano bang basis nun?
Opo, dinideny po nila na may relasyon sila. So, yung anak ay hindi rin po na-expound ng husto. Ang sinabi lang ni Mayor Sual, siya ay may dating asawa na annulled na siya. And then may iba siyang kasama ngayon. Na yun yung, may mga anak siya na ayaw niyang i-further detalyin tungkol sa buhay niya kasi nabubuli na daw po yung mga anak niya. So, parang si Senator Jinggoy yung may mga pictures na pinakita na may twinings yung couple shirt. And then yung isang February 2022 yata, nagdala ng special flower pa na buko si Mayor kay Mayor din, Bamban Mayor Alice Guo. Pero wala silang napiga ng confirmation whether meron silang romantic relationship po.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Cecil Suerte Felipe ng Philippine Star. Thank you.
Okay. Senate
Cecil.
Flix, ang tawag nila dyan. Hindi kompleto yung Senate Flix, Ami, kung wala yung kwento tungkol doon sa relasyon. At saka sa... Yan yung mga nagbabiral sa TikTok at sa Reels.
Yung mga negosyo nila, mga pangalan, Alice eh.
Bob, teka, baka maputol. Si Commodore J. Tariela, ang Coast Guard spokesman for the West Philippine Sea is on the line. Sir, Commodore Tariela, maraming salamat for joining us this afternoon.
Kumusta, Commodore?
Hi, Commodore.
Okay, tanong natin, Commodore. Dumating na ba yung kapalit ng Teresa Magbanwa dyan sa Escoda Shoal?
Well, I don't want to disclose her, but our commandant has already directed
Coast Guard vessels to proceed and continuously patrol our areas in the West Philippine Sea.
Okay. Sir, you say proceed and patrol the areas in the West Philippine Sea. That sounds a bit broad.
Papunta pa lang.
Oh, and it also sounds broad na parang patrol the area in the West Philippine Sea. Sir, yung pinadala bang kapalit dapat na magbanwa is going to Escoda or is it just going to pass through Escoda and go around the West Philippine Sea? In other words, ito ba'y papalit talaga doon sa pwestuhan ng magbanwa o hindi na po tayo pwesto doon ng matagalan kagaya ng dati?
Una sa lahat, sir, no? Again, I don't want to disclose operational details ng deployment natin.
Yes, sir.
But one thing is for sure, regardless, kahit saan pumunta yung barko natin, we will always still prioritize yung pagbalik natin sa loob ng Escoda Shoal, sir.
Commodore,
Magbalik kayo
kamusta
sa
ba
loob,
yung mga
Commodore?
crew nung Teresa Magbanwa? Nakakain na ba sila ng maayos?
Yes, sir. Nakakain na sila ng maayos. Nakapag-budal fight naman sila nung araw na dumating din sila mismo. And all of our personnel were subjected to medical and physical examination dahil alam naman natin na bumaba talaga yung health nila because of kakulangan ng nutrition sa pagkain and dehydration dahil walang tubig.
Okay, Commodore, how difficult is it to supply foodstuffs to the crew of the BRP Magbanwa? We need to understand this.
Sir, just for you to have at least the proper context about what transpired. From April until July, it was not really very difficult for us to do resupply dahil nakakapag-deploy tayo ng barko, and it's very easy for us. I think last July, there was one time na 3 44-meter vessels natin was able to anchor beside PRP Teresa Magbanwa. The increased level of aggression of the Chinese Coast Guard only started somewhere between first and second week of August, and then nagtuloy-tuloy na. Ito yung sabay ng diplomatic protest, and then saka na natin na-experience na yung intentional ramming, and since then on, saka na tayo nahirapan. So, just for me to explain, ang difficulty ng resupply natin ng mga naunang buwan, sa 5 buwan na nag-stay pa natin dito, has never been that difficult. It was only in the recent weeks where the Chinese Coast Guard intentionally rammed and carried out dangerous maneuver and blocking, para hindi may pakadikit ang mga 44-meter vessels natin patungo sa Teresa Magbanwa.
Okay, it would seem as Commodore,
factor or incident that you think might have triggered that? Kasi ang sinasabi ng mga Chinese, yung mga report from China, nag-aalala sila na balak daw sana natin gawin na naman yung Magbanwa na parang yung Sierra Madre. Was there any specific factor or incident that might have triggered the Chinese fear?
I think incident is not the proper term, but basically it's just their paranoia. They were just so paranoid, believing their own narrative na ang Teresa Magbanwa, the most expensive vessel that we have, will be agrounded for the second time. Although ilang beses naman na nating sinabi to, it's not the intention of the Philippine Coast Guard to ground Teresa Magbanwa. We're just basically exercising our sovereign rights and protecting our marine environment. But despite of that, iniisip pa rin nila na ang intention talaga natin is ground yun. Kaya eventually, nitong nakarampuan, they became very aggressive. They filed diplomatic protests, and then they were very vocal in amplifying their own paranoia na tayo mismo mag-a-ground daw ng barko natin.
Okay, Commodore, the way you described it, it would seem that the Chinese Coast Guard may have successfully dislodged the Magbanwa from Escoda Shoal.
Commodore, dagdag sa tanong ni Patrick, medyo curious lang kami, bakit hindi muna natin piniposition yung 40-meter Coast Guard boat na papalit sa Teresa Magbanwa bago umatras o umalis yung Teresa Magbanwa sa Escoda Shoal?
Well, that's a very interesting question, Sir Ronald. Ang dahilan talaga niyan, as I said, it's a very bad weather condition. napakahirap talaga din nating puntahan dahil ang hangin noon is palayo ng coastline ng Palawan. So the challenge is palapit ng coastline ng Palawan. So the challenge is for any Coast Guard vessel, whether the 97 or 44, to proceed to Skoda. And the priority then, when it was a close call decision to pull out 97 Wheater, ano na lang yan siya, yung like na i-report na ng commanding officer na they already they have this personnel who are subject for medical care and they have depleted their supplies, and yung laki ng alon might actually jeopardize their yung safety nila because of their damage dun sa barko nila.
Okay, so to my question a while back, Commodore, it would seem from your description that the Chinese Coast Guard may have successfully dislodged the Magbanwa from its position in Escoda Shoal.
Well, I don't think so, sir. No. As what I mentioned yesterday during the press con, I don't think that it's the Chinese government that made us leave Sabina Shoal or Escoda Shoal. Hindi naman ako naniniwala ng mga Chinese may mas malakas kay Lord kaya lumaki ang alon at pumangit ang panahon sa West Philippine Sea. It's actually because of the natural phenomenon, no? Dahil sa pangit na panahon. That compelled the commandant to make the decision to pull out Teresa Magbanwa, and not because of the pressure of the Chinese government.
Okay.
Commodore, panghuli na lang. Kung sakaling harangan ng Chinese Coast Guard at saka Navy, yung ating papalit sa Teresa Magbanwa sa Escoda, kung sakaling harangan nila at hindi payagang makaposisyon doon, ay ganun pa rin ba yung ating posisyon sa offer ng US na tulungan tayo o escortan tayo sa West Philippine Sea? Ay tatanggi pa rin ba tayo, Commodore?
Well, una sa lahat, Sir Ronald, no, it's not on the level of the Coast Guard to decide whether we're going to accept or we're going to turn down the proposal of the U.S. government. It is up to the national leadership, as recommended by the Department of Foreign Affairs and even the National Defense, or even the National Maritime Council. But on our part, we're just going to continuously carry out our mandate and patriotic duty in maintaining our presence in the West Philippine Sea.
Okay, maraming salamat, Commodore J. Tariela of the Philippine Coast Guard, spokesman for the West Philippine Sea. Thank you, sir.
Salamat, Commodore.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commodore.
Thank you po.
Thank you for joining the Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, as Ed would put it, our favorite Tito.
Kaibigan!
Tito, political pundit.
And our international man of mystery. Just again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for the Storycon. I'm Ed Ligao.
I'm Patrick Pies, and we are One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group, or the Storycon Group.